Hello everybody, welcome to take number 2 on the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. I had one recorded earlier, before I did my live PvP stream. I basically did it right as soon as I woke up and had rushed to get it out. And then I realized that there was a gold sale, which was not initially up in the game when I was recording it. So I had to stop it, and I went and did my stream, and that occupied a lot of time. It was very busy today, and a lot of us were talking in it. And then I'm here redoing it now because of the gold sale item, which here it is, the Quit Mark III. The Quit, the Quibbly Quabbly Mark III. This is a nice gun, and I'm going to get this stuff out of the way first, and then we will talk about the big earth-shattering news today that we all have to deal with. So, I have taken out the Venom Launcher and the Grace Note, and I now have the Quiwiwit, and I have the Lantern of Doom in here. The Lantern of Doom is in here because of the larger reason. But we'll get to that. So let me go ahead and show you the gun. The gun is actually really awesome. All of its functions are available in round 1. You don't have to wait to use anything. So Jessica Jones and Red Hulk, this is an odd one, I gotta say. Man, there's been a lot of brutes today. I gotta tell you, I have seen a ton of brutes out there today. So, you'll notice I'm doing something a little different. I'm not doing a 9-6 on an Iron Fist. I'm just choosing to be slightly offensive over here. And, yeah, you're going to see a lot of changes all in one spot. So, wow, big AOE dodge, but I was immune because of the lantern. So, here is change number 1. Change number 1 is Rattled is no longer a debuff action, but it is a quick action that is ranged. So it's not going to cause drains on Elite ISO people. But even though it's stealthy, watch what's going to happen. Red Hulk gains an extra turn. That's right, folks. Tacticians are going to gain an extra turn by using the velocity. So now I've hit Red Hulk. Look, no webbed. No webbed. Her splash has gotten nerfed. So ASG, along with the big content of this video, has taken a really, really bad hit. She's still capable of punching somebody out, but we now have to contend with the fact that her quick action, if used before exhausted goes out, will proc tacticians. Also, we have tacticians now who could be running the inexhaustible ISO, and of course we have the suit that makes you immune to exhaustion. So now all of a sudden ASG has got some major issues. So now I've splashed Red Hulk twice, and we finally get some webbing spreading around. Now you'll notice they got hit and flinched. That is because we now actually have some graphics as to whether or not somebody is getting webbed. So let's look at the gun. The Quiwiwit Mark III. Trank Shot, Groggy. Oh, by the way, they're all stealthy, and they all have a 2-round cooldown. Groggy and Incapacitation. Uncontrollable Laughter, chance for follow-up and counterattacks to fail. Trauma, chance to cause disoriented, distracted, or straying. By the way, Playdom is trolling us with this weapon. Uncontrollable Laughter is the joy that you get when you shut down one of the Rocket teams, like the Rocket, Union Jack, the Spider-Man Noirs, all of that. Blind Rage, Reckless Rage, Internal Bleeding. So this is kind of like having Daredevil on a stick, Daredevil with that ISO. You can't use buff or defensive actions, and they automatically get the Scrapper bonus basically, but at a reduced chance to hit. So that just makes them bleed out. Howling Shot. Cower and Salty Tears. Let me tell you, we all have salty tears. Attacking this target grants stamina to the attacker, and mind control and possessed. So watch what's going to happen here when I hit Jessica Jones with this. The gun is capable of doing some pretty decent damage. So now I made Jessica Jones attack her agent, and she's going to pass her turn. That's pretty cool. Gotta admit. So ASG has less chance to splash webbing now than she did. But at least we have a nice little visual indicator as to when she does it. But the biggest thing to talk about is HAIF. Again, we'll get to that. Let's get the short content out of the way first. So let's take a look at the rewards. 100k silver, 10 gold, Diamond League, Dark Energy Blade, follow-up attack, guaranteed hit, ignored defense. All of that is really, really good. But now look at it. Defender of Allies. So it has a Blade of the Guardian kind of built into it. Protects allies from single target attacks. The power inside. When attacked or interrupting, has a chance to gain an extra turn. I think what this is saying is that if your agent performs an interrupt attack, you have a chance to gain an extra turn when you do that. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. When attacked or interrupting, I think they could have flushed that description out a little bit better, like when attacked, meaning you, or when performing an interrupt action, has a chance to gain an extra turn. That's a little Englishy there, but I think that's what they're trying to say. Power of Dark Energy. Gain Dominate the Weak and Deflect. Interrupts ranged and buff or debuff attacks. We don't know what Dominate the Weak is. We don't know what Deflect is. But interrupting ranged and buff or debuff attacks, especially when combined with the Lunacy, is going to be huge. I'm trying to see what's going on with that hilt over there. I don't really know what's going on with that hilt. It's just a giant mishmash and a little penis curve thing there. The Vibranium League reward is an Infiltrator suit made by Tony Stark and Hank Pym. Infiltrator's infused tech suit. Phenomenal evasion, very high accuracy, and then average everywhere else. That means if you are using the PKB method on your own agent, you're going to gem for stamina, attack, and accuracy. And because you have to do so little into accuracy and everything, you have tons to put into defense. So you're going to go health, tiny bit of accuracy, and then attack, defense. The PKB method is always health, attack, and accuracy, and the one of the two defensive categories. So this one basically gives you a defensive category already. You can dump it all into defense. Radiation suit, immune to harmful radiation effects. What the fuck is this? A Fallout power armor? Why do we need that? Do we really care that it's immune to harmful radiation effects? Like, what the hell? I'm not trying to hoard Rad-X and Radaway over here. Why are we getting immune to harmful radiation? Stealthy attacks cause overexposure. What's overexposure? We don't know what that is yet. Increased damage of stealthy attacks by 30%. So this begs the question. Does this mean that all stealthy attacks cause overexposure and have the damage bumped up? So if I equip a stealthy weapon on the agent, that in and of itself, my agent isn't stealthy at this moment. He hasn't procced combat reflexes, but he uses a weapon that is stealthy. Does that mean the damage is increased? Also, what happens when 2 rounds of the Lunacy go out and it says nothing is stealthy? Do I still gain the bonus because the attack is classified as stealthy? Or do I lose the bonus because it doesn't actually come out from me as stealthy? And of course, Colleen. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, we need to talk about the gigantic white elephant in the room. Heroic Age Iron Fist. HAIF has been nerfed into absolute oblivion. They went too far with this. Oh, look. They went way, way overboard in this, okay? With the fact that we have to deal with Emma out there now, we're in a lot of trouble with HAIF being nerfed the way that he is. He, if there wasn't a Pesty or a Scroll of Runemeroth, was your only... fucking Nanoplague. God damn it. He was your only saving grace when it came to Emma. Because now Emma is unstoppable and can run roughshod over everything. Because at 15, with combat reflexes and the pre-fire ISO, it means the psychic tap comes into you. Whoa! Excuse you, cat. The psychic tap comes into you as your action is cast. You have no way of avoiding it. What? Cat's meowing at me for some reason. With HAIF, at least if it wasn't a Pesty or a Scroll of Runemeroth, you had a chance. You had some way of stopping the onslaught, and it allowed you to tackle Emma as if she was just a normal person. But now, we can't do that. Because now, Emma doesn't have to deal with debuff immunity. Ah, crap. Well, I can do this. This is going to be funny. Watch how funny this is going to be. If this works, this will be hysterical. Oh, please work. Oh, please work. And now, please nanoplague. I don't think it nanoplagued him. If that nanoplagued Red Hulk, that would be phenomenal. Okay, it generalized him. Did it nanoplague him? Well, he still has absorb energy, but does... I can't tell if he's cornered. Alright, well, he's cornered, so I could just do this. But if that nanoplagued Red Hulk... Oh, the splashed... That's so ridiculous. That absolutely needs to be fixed. Splash damage should not affect absorb energy. That is so ridiculous. I had forgotten about that. But we don't have to deal with it now. If he had nanoplagued him and his bulwark wasn't available, that would have been hysterical. Can we go ahead and punch Red Hulk out? Yeah, okay, cool. So... the fact that we cannot deal with Emma now, thanks to this nerf to HAIF and everything, is so bad. Let's stop him from using his debuffs, because he might be coming up to his fumbling one pretty... Wow, that's some good damage. That gun did some really good damage on that attack. And now he's going to bleed out, thanks to internal bleeding. Emma can essentially, she can run unchecked through anything. There was always a counter. There was balance in all of this. I mean, yes, it sounds very Star Warsy to say there was balance in the Force and everything like that. But it's true. There was balance in everything. If you didn't like HAIF and a 9/6, or the Mystic, or the Lantern of Doom, you ran Pesty, or the Scroll of Runemeroth. If you didn't like the Scroll of Runemeroth and everything like that, okay, you were screwed, but then you took out the person who is doing it. You took out Pesty, or you took out the agent. If you didn't like being exposed to Emma, you worked on stealthy attacks. Well, the Lunacy is the counter to that. 2 rounds of the Lunacy, and there is no stealth anymore. So there was balance in everything. Pesty balanced out one thing, HAIF balanced out others. Now there is no more balance anymore. The street dead ends at Emma, and that's it. Because at level 15, she can activate her combat reflexes regardless of whether or not there is a tactician on the other side of the field from her. She is immune to off balance. That means there is no way of stopping her. So you're like, okay, well, use stealth. Yeah, well, ta-da. 2 rounds of the lunacy, there is no stealth. Heimdall, there is no stealth. So at that point in time, the only thing that might potentially stop her is combo breaker. I don't even really know if if a psychic attack is capable of being combo broken. But you know what happened to HAIF is way too far, and that sets Emma up to be smog atop a pile of gold that is our PvP bodies. She just wins. Period. There is no way around her anymore without immunity. You know, it used to be you had to run the scroll of Rudamaroth or bring Pesty if you wanted to ensure that debuffs were sealed in. Now, really? Yeah, so great. That, even though it was stealthy, that guy still tanked that. Absolutely ridiculous. So ridiculous. Unnecessary. Completely. I mean, I'm glad that it's ranged and not melee, so we couldn't drain from it, but that's just ridiculous. So the good thing is there will not be any Invisible Woman shields preventing debuffs on here, but this may create a situation in which Invisible Woman can rise to prominence. Her air pressure and maintaining shields might be the only thing that you have going for you. Yes, with Pesty and the Scroll of Rudamaroth, it doesn't matter, but that negates HAIF the way he was now. Invisible Woman is probably the only thing that is going to survive this. I bet you the agent's going to tank it, yeah. But, I mean, HAIF didn't need to have that happen. And if you go, alright, well, look, he had Combo Breaker, he had the debuff immunity, and he had the big heal. Well, his heal has gotten nerfed once, and guess what? It's been nerfed again. So, I mean, that is completely ridiculous. Look at that. See, right there, that's the force spear. Did you see that bug? The agent force speared Heimdall. How does an... the reason why the agent tanked that is because of Heimdall. So Heimdall shut down the stealthy action. So again, you know, there. Oh boy, there was counters to everything out there. There isn't a counter to Emma now, and you could say, well, you can run the techno-organic endoskeleton. Yes, you can run the techno-organic endoskeleton. But that only protects your agent. What about the rest of the team? That's where things get considerably tougher. And, you know, Invisible Woman with air pressure might rise to prominence in this, but this wasn't needed. You know, what you could have done is make it on for one, off for one. On for one, and off for one. His big heal was only a factor for offense. You didn't run into the big heal on defense, because if you did run into a 9-6 on defense, I will unapologetically tell you it's your own fucking fault. Why did she... What is going on here? That was weird. If you baited out a 9-6 from Iron Fist, then I will tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt you were absolutely doing it wrong. You were basically doing what Venom says to Spider-Man in the third movie. Don't wound what you can't kill. To bait out a 9-6 from Heroic Age Iron Fist, that means you damage somebody so much in round 1 that he's forced to go into savior mode and do a 9-6. Otherwise, HAIF opens up with combat with a 9-2 or a 9-1 all the time. Yeah, sure, later on he had a 6 to hit somebody. But again, there was a counter to that. The Scroll of Runamaroth or Pesty would make it so that the 6 wouldn't clear debuffs. I just think it's way too far. They could have done different things with the cooldowns there, like on for 1, off for 1, on for 2, off for a complete 1 before he could do it again. They didn't need to go this far. And I mean, PvE now, simulator stuff, the group boss, that also comes into play. I mean, you may see the rise of the Savant Spear again to provide people with shields in the beginning of combat, and then have Invisible Woman's air pressure. Invisible Woman might become the new HAIF, minus the healing, but it's way too much. It is way too much, and I think I would encourage people to submit tickets and tell them they've gone too far. Be above table on it. Be legit. Be nice. Don't sit there and scream at them and say, what the fuck are you guys doing? We may all feel it, but if you're going to be communicating with them, do it the right way. Tell them you feel it was unnecessary, it was too much, and everything like that. I haven't done my Bruiser and Scrapper simulators yet. Mostly because I was focused on Blasters and Tacticians for my PvP bonuses. Well, I used Invisible Woman for the Blaster bonus. I would have, for the Blaster Sims, I would have absolutely gone through Bruiser and Scrapper with Heroic Age Iron Fist to help me out, in the same way that Invisible Woman helps me for the Blaster Sim. Too much. He wasn't that strong of a force on defense that his debuff prevention needed to be attacked. Sure, it was great for offense. Sure, it was great for PvE and group bosses, but it's way too far. And the Lantern and the Mystic aren't available to enough people. The suit was available to everybody if they worked hard at it. The Mystic and the Lantern had to be purchased, and the Lantern had to be purchased with a gold sale. So that obviously is a factor. Nightcrawler and his ISO, sure, that's good, but it's only available for 1 round, same way as the Mystic and the Lantern. And Age of Ultron Thor, yeah, that's the best one of the group because it can be replenished. Maybe that means everybody's going to start running Age of Ultron Thor. Like, the Agent will be the healer. Age of Ultron Thor will be the debuff prevention every other round. There is already things like that in the game. They didn't need to kill HAIF as much as they did. And it's so sad. It truly is sad. And what they did to ASG is terrible, too. I mean, changing it from debuff over to ranged and then changing it from subtle to stealthy, you still proc class bonuses when you're stealthy. And the Lunacy was the counter to that anyway. If the Lunacy exposed subtle actions, her level 6 was exposed to be tanked and dealt with properly. So again, a completely unnecessary change. If you wanted to tone down her level 9, I kind of agree with that. But again, they just went too far, and it's disgusting what they've done to several characters today. ASG, I can kind of stand by the changes being permanent. HAIF, no. I think it is absolutely ridiculous what they've done to him. And there's enough debuffs in the game that are bordered, like Meteor Swarm stacks, and the stuff from the Lunacy, and Internal Bleeding, and the runes from Kurth. they should deal with HAIF in those ways. Make things that he cannot help you against. I mean, I've spent, ever since I took Molly out, I've spent so many wasted turns because of being coward from curse runes that it's been crazy. But when I ran HAIF and Molly, I didn't have to deal with that as much for some reason. I cowered nowhere near as much as I did when I took Molly out. So, again, I apologize if this one's a little ranty, but it needs to be said. And the great majority of us feel that way. And if you're somebody who thinks that HAIF needed this nerf, I think you're absolutely insane. And I really question your mental state. I wonder if you were then somebody who hasn't gotten the suit yet. Or if you were one of those people who were like, dude, he 9-6'd and all, like I run into HAIF so much and he does the big heal and the immunity. I'm going to tell you again, unapologetically, you were fucking doing it wrong. So, that's my rant for today, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. And if you're going to get those tickets in, get them in. Quick, let's fix this. See you, everybody.